sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready. No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com and click on the chat room button and join the conversation. How you doing, Jen? Glad you could make it. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. I learned that from my daughter. See, my 12-year-old daughter is even teaching me stuff as I teach her stuff. Looking over some very high-profile speakers for the RNC convention. Very proud of several speakers there. But let's get back to the basics. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Check out the new Reaver of Common Sense shirt. Check out the new logo we now have for the show. Well, we are on day 379 days and 24 hours counting till Trump announces his VP pick. We have been doing around the hour coverage nonstop, and it will finally be over within just under 24 hours. All right, that's how it's been lately. You think it's like, what the heck was that baby, that kid that was brought here to the United States but had to go back to Cuba? Baby Gonzalez or something like that. It's like day 30. We've been out camping outside the house of Trump waiting for his VP pick. Jesus, you know what? I find it funny. The media bitches about how much media Trump gets for free. Candidates bitch about how much free media Trump gets. And all he says is, I'm not going to announce my candidate until the RNC convention. He's even announcing it early. And it's like, oh my God, these people are just, it'd be like complaining about buffets and then going to a buffet to eat. People, you can't complain about both. Oh, complain and then have it at the same time. That's one of the things I love about Trump. He is so smart. He knows what to say. Everybody thinks he's this unchained wild horse, when in reality, he's doing this on purpose. He says this stuff on purpose that is borderline, something nuts. Sorry, looking at some polls that are coming out, and they're a joke. I don't trust any of these polls that are coming out. They've already been shown, not because I don't like the results, but because, hi, Kel. It's because I seen that they were shady. It's been proven that they were shady. So I'm not going to pay attention to them right now. It's too far away. But where was I? Oh, with Trump, he says these things that he knows the media is going to twist and run with. And in the end, just about every time they've done it, they've gone, oh, yeah, he was right to begin with. So he gets all this free media by just saying things that are a little bit on the edge of the extreme. And he knows the media is going to run with it. So, I mean, what is it? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's giving him free publicity. She made those statements, and a Supreme Court judge making those types of statements I don't think has ever really been done before. I can't remember the last time a Supreme Court justice has weighed in to politics like this, because they're not supposed to, because then it shows impartiality between them. Well, she shot her mouth off, and now she's apologizing. That's the funny part. She is actually apologizing about it today. She shot her mouth off, jumped into politics when she shouldn't. She's supposed to be the symbol of neutrality. All those justices are supposed to be neutral. They're not, but they're supposed to at least give the appearance that they have the ability to be neutral in matters. But she shot her mouth off. Now she's apologizing, and she says she regrets. Well, I'm looking at it's a liberal local news site, and people are making excuses. One says she's earned that right to make comments like that. No, she hasn't, you nitwits. I don't know where these nerf herders come from. I still remember one time I called someone a nerf herder on Twitter. Called him a half-witted nerf herder. Oh, see, you're going to go to name calling. I was like, are you really that stupid? So you're doing it again. I said, no, I didn't say you were. I asked you, are you really that stupid? Why? I was like, because I was quoting a movie to be a smart ass. No, you weren't. Oh, you never heard that. I was like, you've never seen Star Wars? Oh, no. I forgot about that. You nerf herder. I'm in one of my weird moods today, which could be good. It could be bad. I don't know. We'll see in a few. I'll tell you at the end of the show if it was good or bad. Never good. Never good. Never good. Yeah, sorry. I get these emails of crime that's happened around my neighborhood, and it was just an assault that happened. And, yeah. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. It is going to hell in a handbasket in a hurry. So it's, I can't believe she actually waded in, and now everybody's shocked she's getting a negative response. And even liberals are giving a negative response. But you have these blind sheep that just follow, and we have them on the right. I'm not going to say we don't. We have blind sheep on both sides, and it's sad that we actually have that. You know, they just parrot whatever the talking points are. Listen, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Just because I'm up here, I talk mostly about the left and the negative, doesn't mean I'm approving of the right. And I've said that time and time again. And I don't know. It drives me nuts when people blindly follow. There's a lot of issues on the right. I will be the first one, but a lot of it is also it's this left. They love to make up stories and look at the Alinsky rules, and that's what they do. They follow it to a T. And this crap about that they really push about the abortion issue, about gun rights, they go to the extreme. And that's when I start laughing at them. That's when I laugh, because they like to blow up the situation. Oh, my God. Talk about drama queens. Most of us don't care about, we care about abortions. We don't want to see it used as a actual birth control. Most of us understand that there's certain situations where it's required. But we don't think they should be handed out like Pez dispensers. There's more killed by abortion than by guns, but yet the left cry about gun violence. As they push abortion, think that's the cat's meow. Everybody should have one. Oh, everybody should at least have one abortion a year. Yes, I'm being facetious on that statement. But that's how they sound when they try to make fun of the right. When it comes to the gay, lesbian, trans, most of us don't give a shit what you do in your bedroom. A lot of us don't care that you can be married. There is a few that still hold on to that strict. And you know what? That's your right. You have the right to feel that way. And that's my biggest issue when it comes to the LGBT issue. You got this group that says we don't want people telling us how to live our lives, but we're going to tell you how to live your life. Just because not me, I'm saying in general, just because someone in general doesn't approve of your lifestyle doesn't mean that they're a hateful group or a hateful person. You don't approve of straight couples, so does that make you a hateful group? Not all lesbians and trans and gays and that believe that they don't care for straight couples. Most of them don't give a shit, just as I don't give a shit. But the left loves to do this generality, and it drives me up a wall. It actually makes me laugh, but it does drive me off the wall at the same time, because it takes maybe some serious conversations that we could have and throws them out the window. Because I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation, especially when it's anti-gun conversation, and I give you a real-life experience of what happened, and you want to now disregard because I need counseling and all this because I don't fall in line with you. But if you have someone that was involved in a shooting, same as me, but is for pro-gun, you would say they are so holy, we need to listen 100% to them. That's your problem. And then I have had some left go, you know what? You're giving me some things to think about. You know, it's some people come at it with an open mind and want to have a discussion. I've explained why I don't want to give up any ground, because the left, yes, they do want to ban guns, and I get so sick of that statement. We don't want to ban gun. We want sensible gun control. Okay, what's sensible gun control? Sorry about that noise. When I was doing I had like one of my beard hairs got shedded and got into the microphone fuzzy. And I went to do that up against the mic, and I got a beard hair in my mouth. So I was trying to get it, wipe it off. Shake it off, shake it off. God, I don't know why that just went in my head. But every time I think of that song, I don't even know who it's by. not Liz Taylor. Whatever. I think of The Rock on that lip syncing show on Spike TV, and you have big old bad. Oh my God, The Rock sitting there, wiping out his shoulder and stuff, and lip syncing to that song. I'm just like, oh God. It's just. Oh, I want to say something to you, Kel, but I'll be good. I won't say it on air. All right, there. I didn't say it on air. Oh, damn it. Damn it, Kel. Damn it. You beat me to the punch. Not fair. How did we get into all this from the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg? So many of the left are shooting their mouth off. And what's funny, I'm going to win the country if Trump gets elected. Now, what are you going to do if Trump gets elected and you're sitting there, you're going to look like a total jackass. That you're not going to back your word up? That you're not going to leave like you said you were? There's a whole list, and the conservatives are making that list. This one's saying it, this one, and when you don't leave, it's going to be funny as hell, because then we're going to be like, hey, did you say you want to leave? You're racist because, Al Sharpton said he's going to go back to Africa. Bye. See ya. I guess it's like some threat that he expects all of us to bow down. Oh, my God. Al Sharpton has said he is going to leave the country if we vote Trump. Jesus Christ, you're giving us a reason to vote for Trump. Every time you idiots say that, you're giving us reasons to vote Trump. That's how stupid you sound. You're giving us a reason. I'm not sitting here, well, if Hillary Clinton gets elected, I'm going to move to England. Yeah, you'd be going, bye. Guess what? You say you're going to move? Thank God. You're going to move to Canada? Oh, I'm sorry, Canada. I hate to do it to you. Be prepared for a bunch of dumbasses coming your way. But I will chip in the fund to help move them to Canada. They can go live with Justin Trudeau. And I'll tell you what, Kel, I invite you to come live in the United States if Trump gets elected. And we'll make an exchange. You for what? It's up to a list of like 10 celebrities that say they'll move to Canada. I think that's a fair trade. One of you equals 10 of them. I'm being serious. I would take Kel. She has more national pride. She cares more about the United States than these liberals that say they want to move to Canada. I don't mean that. I'm going to probably double talk myself. But how bad is that we have a Canadian woman that has more pride in her own country and more pride in the United States than our own citizens do? Let me add, Kel, are you upset that at the All-Star game when they were singing "Oh Canada" that the singer replaced some of the words and said "All lives matter"? Because I know it's not my national anthem, and I can understand where some people may get upset on you shouldn't change the wording of a national anthem. But in something like that incident, I don't see where it's an issue. It's trying to give a positive message. If someone changed the lyrics of the national anthem to try to push that all lives matter, that all people matter, I would not be upset with it. And so that guy's been suspended now. But yet you have these players running out there disrespecting police left, right, and center. You have an NFL player. Okay, I can understand. And like I said, I understand that changing the lyrics can be construed as disrespectful. The sentiment behind it, I'm looking at it too. He was trying to push a solid message of everybody's lives matter. And But nobody has yeah, I can see that. I can understand that you're not happy, but you understand the sentiment. Exactly. But how many times do we had Beyonce going out there and totally disrespecting police and all that, and nobody bats an eye. She pushes the new Black Panther Party, and nobody blinks an eye. Someone tries to make the point of just all lives matter. He gets suspended. WNBA basketball players walk out supporting Black Lives Matter and anti-police campaign. And everybody's upset the police walked out on it. You have, I think it's Cleveland running back in the NFL. And I could be wrong where he plays. And he tweets a picture or Instagrammed or whatever, a picture of what looked to be a new Black Panther member slitting the throat of a cop with blood gushing out the neck. Everybody gets upset. That another group got upset about that picture. And we're supposed to just, that was Beyonce that did the Black Panther halftime show. And I agree, that was over the top. It's when I watch football, and there's the one announcer for Monday night, and I can't remember his name. He's gone into these tirades of political speeches during Monday Night Football. He's going on about the anti-gun and all that. And it's like, shut up. I don't want to hear politics from a sports announcer. If you feel you have to do that, do it on your own time. Go on Fox, go on CNN as a guest, but don't do it on Monday Night Football. And then, you know what? And the more I talk about it, now I can understand more about not being happy that gentleman did that. So I might retract my statement a little bit. Because I am kind of having a double standard there. So I could see him being suspended was the correct thing to do. I'm so tired of everybody putting politics into it. I always forget this band's name. Dang it. Yeah, I just wish they were singing. One of the bands I like actually just came out recently, you know, given this he didn't make much sense in his speech. He did a lot of double talking around about, and Michigan Bar feature. Bar Rescue. One of the episodes they did, it was in a Michigan bar. The owner is now in prison for tax evasion. Oh, this is going to bug the living daylights out of me. Well, it's actually getting that time. Yes, that evil time. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, Spreaker, YouTube, and now iTunes. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency, in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be. And it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays 2 ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, hey, go to Reaver.1. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And as my daughter always says, leave a message. No, you don't have to wait for the beep. You can just leave a message. Okay, stupid joke. That was corny. I know. But if you want to support the show and you want to support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1/shop. That's right. REAVER.ONE/SHOP. We now have the new Reaver of Common Sense logo. And don't ask me why today. If you're watching the broadcast, I'm speaking with my hands a lot, and I'm not Italian. And for some reason, I'm just using my hands a lot today, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not Italian, so, I mean. Oh, I'm loving it. The chat room right now, I love it. I am filled with women. I know that may come out wrong, but I love it. Some of the smartest women I know are in the chat room, and they just... Carrie, if you want, you can go to my website, Reaver.1, and click on the live stream. Here, I'll even make it easy. Oh. And I'm having one of those days. It's good one of those days, but it's one of those days. Come on. You can do it. I'm talking to my website. And yes, I do talk when I'm working on my website and stuff. Lately, it's been, I don't know if it's my internet access or my actual website that's a little bit slow. And here we go. Let me shut that down. Yes, and gorgeous women. Gorgeous and smart. Nothing better than that. That's the best type of women to be around. Gorgeous, smart women. Oh. And if you're listening to me, you got to be smart enough there. That tells you you're smart. All right, that was a plain kiss-ass maneuver. I'll admit it. So, all right, let's see what else do we have up today. I know there's a possibility, depends on what time to get up at, towards the end of the show, but the oh my God, brain fart. Sackhead show, Sackhead Sean should be calling in. We had discussed it. It just, the time difference, they're an hour, 2 hours behind us. So it's a little bit early for them. Obama made a statement, and this one it pissed me off. It pissed me off because Obama says it hurts when whites dismiss protesters as political correctness or reverse racism. So it's okay that his feelings get hurt, that he's hurt by the actions. But I'm gonna say right now, it hurts me when you blame me as being a white male for everybody else's bad decisions. It hurts me when you say I'm racist or I have this white privilege. It hurts me when I can't be proud of being white or not supposed to being proud. That hurts me. But you don't care Yeah, exactly, Carrie. There's no reverse racism because reverse racism is actually love. Opposite of racism is love. It's just racism. And it's just, there's some that hate whites. They've been indoctrinated with this. And the same that you got the ones that are indoctrinated with hate blacks. I don't understand it. We're all the same inside. You treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. And you come at talking this weird talk, whether it's a southern redneck hick that I can't understand, or you come at me with the street slang, ebonics, it's called, and there's a list of others. If you come to me like that and come at me with an attitude, my Jersey attitude is going to come right back at you. You want to come and talk to me like a human being? I'll talk to you like a human being. I have done it for years on the ambulance. I didn't care what race you were, what color, what creed, where you came from, how much money. In fact, usually I got sick and tired of dealing with these rich, whiny, not that it's only women, but I would get a lot of times the women in the north end of my town were the high end because it was next to Princeton. And their husbands were never home. So what would they do? They get bored. They call an ambulance 3 o'clock in the morning for stupid stuff, such as they stubbed their toe and they want to be taken to the hospital. Now I'm volunteering at that time, and I got to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, back on another ambulance. So the last thing I want to do is deal with some rich, whiny person because their husband's not there. So they're going to go and get attention by disturbing me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, if it's a true medical, I never had a problem. I didn't care what time. But when you have someone that stubbed their toe and then looking at me going, aren't you going to carry me? No, you can hobble your ass to the ambulance. In fact, I think you can hobble yourself into the car and drive yourself. Especially when it's your left foot you stubbed your little toe on. I think you can drive your car. No, I don't feel safe. Fine, hobble your ass to the ambulance and get in it. Yes, that really did happen, Carrie. It really did happen. I got called 3 o'clock in the morning, and she even admitted that it was because her husband has been home in over a month, and she was lonely. Now, I've had it where I've had the elderly, their husbands passed away, they're lonely, their kids haven't come and called. I've gone to them, and yes, I'll sit there at 3 o'clock in the morning and sit down and talk to them because those instances, that deserves some attention. But because, those older people, I loved sitting around. In fact, one of the calls, I was almost ready to call my career done and over with. And we got a call for possible elderly fractured hip. We get there, and it's an older lady screaming in pain. And, my crew, we kicked in, and I trained my crew. We had a kick-ass crew. And, we could have just yanked this woman over onto a backboard and got her moving, got her to the hospital. But we took it was like, I think we were on scene 45 minutes to an hour. It was bad enough that the police are calling because they knew I was on duty, and I'm in and out of scenes like within 10 minutes. And, we were there for like an hour moving this lady, and all of a sudden the husband just turns around to me, and I really was at a point in my career where I was ready to walk away. And he was like 80, 90 years old, starts bawling on my shoulder, and he turns to me. He goes, "I'm a retired 4-star general. I got medals out the wazoo from World War II, Korea." And he's like, "You guys are the true heroes. You're going above and beyond to make sure my wife's not in pain and all that." And it those are the calls that made me go, there's good in people still left in this world. That man just sitting there crying and sitting a 4-star general telling me that we're the true heroes, not him. When this man went through hell, that's what reinforces me in this world that says, hey, there's still good in this world. And I'm going to keep fighting for that because, well, it's worth fighting for. And that's what also backs the show up is doing that. There is still people in this world worth fighting for. There's still people that care about this country that are worth fighting for. Yeah, I've heard the term Gomer. Yeah, it's and I've also done some evil. Had a nurse who new nurse in one of the hospital called me me and my partner overpaid taxi driver. And so what I did is I went around and that's actually Sackhead Sean saying about 12:30 he's going to call in. So this nurse called me an overpaid taxi driver. So I went around and picked up pretty much every homeless was going, you want a free meal? Yeah. You want to, get out of the cold? You got chest pains, don't you? We filled that ER up. And the other nurses who I knew were like apologizing, begging us to stop. I was like, well, you know what? That person's got to learn. We all treat each other with respect. They never worked another shift in that ER ever again. I came across her years later, and she just kind of looked at me, saw it was me, went the opposite way. Didn't say a word. All right, I'm going to stop. I could go all day long giving stories. I'm going to give one funny story. This is how bad people are in the world sometimes. And it's not bloody, or it involves some female stuff, parts, and it's a little bit on the sexual side. So I'll keep it as clean as I can. We show up for a woman. Actually, it was a friend of mine that had this call. And it was a 30-something-year-old female, unknown medical, jumps in the back of the rig, says, take me to the hospital. The crew's like, what's wrong? None of your damn business. Just take me to the hospital. And to cut the story down, it went to the hospital, and the doctor, they talked to the doctor and said, they're curious and they also need it for reports. So the doctor goes in, and he's in there about 10 minutes, and it's one of the ER that it was the old style where it still had the curtains. Here comes the doctor laughing his ass off. Hands and knees laughing his ass off. And they were like, Doc, you're going to lose your license, And that's Sackhead Sean, by the way, still texting me. And when the doctor finally gained his composure, he stood up and he said, it's a 30-year-old female who admits to self-gratification every day. Found her clit, thought it was a tick, and wanted it removed. That is the stuff we see in the ER or on ambulances and the ERs, because I've worked in ERs, and some of the stuff I saw just make you shake your head. There's actually a mental disease where men have to take foreign objects and slide them up their urethra. Yeah. Some of the stuff that I've seen, it just makes me go, holy shnikes. But yeah, that female, she found her clit, thought it was a tick, and wanted it removed. I had an elderly female. One last story. This one's kind of funny, and I felt kind of bad. She 80, 90 years old. And Carrie, I normally don't discuss this kind of stuff on the show. I normally don't talk about my calls. But this one, it was elderly. We get called for a cardiac issue. And we show up, and we're like, ma'am, what's going on? She's like, I hear it beeping. My heart's going to stop. And she's all frantic about it. My heart's going to stop. It's beeping. It's telling me I'm going to stop. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And we're taking long shots. Maybe it's a new type of pacemaker. Do you have pacemaker? No. Do you have a defib, internal defib? No. Do you have any cardiac history? No, I've had none. All of a sudden in the distance, we hear beep. And me and my partner, which was Crash, we look at each other and just kind of gave a snicker. And the lady's like, did you hear it? Did you hear it? Did you hear it? My heart's going to stop. It's going to stop. Oh, my God, I'm going to stop. I'm like, no, ma'am, can we come in? She's like, yeah. We walked straight over to the smoke detector, take the battery out, and said, "Do you have a spare 9-volt battery?" And she looks at me, she's like, "I don't care about that right now." We're like, "No, it's your smoke detector telling you the battery's getting low." And you have a lot of good, you have a lot of bad when you're doing EMS. From a 17-year-old first day out with a car, first time driving his own car. His parents paid over $10,000 for him to soup it up. He goes out racing, hit a telephone pole so hard that the impact snapped his head off and was sitting outside the car. I've seen that to, that you're just a 4-star general sitting there crying, thanking me. It's to having guns pulled out on me. I had he was about 9-10 years old, maybe 11 at the most, pulling a 9mm on me because I was there to help his grandmother. And if she screamed once in pain, he was going to shoot me. It is not all roses and happy. And that's EMS. That's EMS going there. Imagine with the police. The police get even worse treatment. And yes, because we wear a uniform, sometimes we get mistaken as being part of law enforcement. And these gangbangers know by shooting police, by shooting firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, they know that they go up the rankings and become the dangerous gangs. And they know that, and that's why they target police. That's why they target EMS, fire, the whole emergency services altogether. They target that because they know they're going to go up the ranking to become the most dangerous. And we had that in Trenton, New Jersey. I mean, I had the next town over, Lawrence, but we went into Trenton a lot. And to be honest, after my daughter was born, that's when I was like, holy snikes, and I started wearing a vest. I got made fun of a lot. But I got thinking, I'm not going to have one of these gangbangers make my daughter grow up without a father. And it's getting worse and worse out in the streets. And now some of these agencies are starting to require and issue bulletproof vests to their EMTs and paramedics. I forget what state it is. They just cleared it that the emergency service, fire and EMS, can now carry concealed firearms. It's getting that bad that they need to give them a defense. And this is what pisses me off is this is the Black Lives Matter are backing up and pushing to protect these types of people. They try to make them seem innocent, but they're not. I'm not justifying killing anybody, but some of these people that they've put up as martyrs are not martyrs. You have the Michael Browns, the Freddie Grays, the Alton Sterling. They're not, and I can't think of the other guy's name, and I really don't care to remember his name. None of them I care to remember. They lost their lives. Why? Because pretty much all of them were some type of criminal. They had a history. And you're going to try to say these people are innocent. They got killed by police. And what about in Fresno? And the cops are worried this one will spark and just push everybody over the edge. And I watched the video today, and no, it won't. It won't. And I don't know what the parents are all pissed off about. Yes, they lost a son. Your son got out of the truck, kept walking towards the cop, and when he would back up, he kept sticking his hand behind his back like he was grabbing for something. It went on long enough, the officers finally opened fire for fear of their lives. The guy was not listening to any commands, was being aggressive, taking an aggressive stance, and they got to make decisions. And what it looks like is the guy kept talking about he didn't like his life. He did a suicide by cops. And you know why this is not going to push anybody over the line? Because it was a white male that got shot and killed. No one's going to give a shit about that. In this country, more white people are killed by officers than blacks. The stats, FBI stats, show that. But yet Black Lives Matter dismisses that fact. And the new one, they're trying to say, well, if you look at the population, percentages. There's more whites than there's blacks. So, yes, of course, there's going to be more whites killed. But there's less blacks, so we are getting killed at a higher rate. No, you're not. I'm getting tired of this. Your narrative is not fitting, so you're trying to change your false narrative. That's not what you talked about. That's not what you've been pushing since Ferguson. And I really got thinking, yes, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on. Because every time these shootings come up and these protests pop up, something bad just happened to the administration. And no, I don't think cops went out and did these shootings just to cover up Obama. But the people that they're picking to make these huge cases out of, they're not innocent. So they're starting issues with just picking out incidents and throwing it in the media, giving it a false narrative. It takes over the news cycle, and Obama and his administration and the Democrats are out of it. And if you ask, well, Obama wasn't in the news. Yeah, but Hillary Clinton was. Yes, Kel. Tomorrow he'll announce his running mate at 11 a.m., and I think most of his cabinet he's going to be announcing. As long as the VP is not Chris Christie, I think I'll be happy. Chris Christie will hurt him too bad, and I don't think he could win New Jersey with Chris Christie. He has that much. He's that unpopular right now in New Jersey. It would hurt. But I think that they're pushing these instances to take over the news cycles. They find any type of films, shootings, just to throw in there that they know that they can run with it and give a false narrative. Gingrich, I'm kind of split on, but I think he's good enough. He's got the political side that would help Trump, but I know he has some baggage that comes along with it. No, not Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was here in Florida. And what's funny is, to use Trayvon Martin as an example, you have Black Lives Matter that says they want to do away with the police force and have communities policing themselves. Well, they were complaining about Zimmerman because he was a local community activist. And they said he should not have been doing that and should have left it to the police to enforce the laws. Michael Brown was Ferguson. I forget what I can't remember now. But they want to have communities police itself, but they didn't like it when Zimmerman was policing his own community. So where? They don't want law enforcement because these people break the laws. They want anarchy. They don't want justice. They want anarchy. And God help those neighborhoods, because what you'll see is mass corruption. That's what you'll see in those neighborhoods. Mass corruption. You won't get justice. There'll be no oversight. You'll have communities having different laws from community to community, coming up with laws that will jailing people for no reason. It'll be worse, and we will have lawlessness in this country. It is people that don't want to follow the laws, that want to break the law. That is who's pushing for this disarming the communities. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN, Red Nation Rising Radio, iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be. And it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highlandsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to reaver.one. Well, actually, the address is reaver.one/live-stream. Or you can just go to reaver.one and click on the live stream button. If you like the live stream, don't forget to hit subscribe and keep up to date. And if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. That is reaver.one/SHOP. So back to that topic real quick, because then I really want to get to something else, and we got about a half hour before the sackheads call in. With Obama saying it's hurt when whites dismiss protesters as political correct and reverse racism. Like I said, it hurts when I get blamed for everything. I am in that age group. I am a white male, so I get blamed for everything from the feminists to the blacks to the Hispanics to the Muslims. Everybody's blaming me for all their problems. Those that listen to the show know my life is not no easy task. I don't get paid for doing this. I do this so that I can air my voice. I don't get paid doing this. I lose money doing this because, well, it costs money to do this. I'm going through disability. I don't work. How am I doing better than anybody else? Anybody has the opportunity to do their own show, to get their voice out. So those that don't like what's going on are able to do it. You simply jump onto your computer, because pretty much everybody has one. You can do it from your phone. You can do it on Facebook. You can do your own show on Facebook through Facebook Live. There is a lot of... Yeah, I know, Cal. That's why I keep telling you, you need to come to SHR Media. You need to give up on Blog Talk. The only major thing you're going to lose is the call-in line. But half the time, you can't get it to work. And I can give you a workaround on that. We can talk off air. It's a $9 piece that you plug into a mixer board. And then you plug into your phone. And then you go through Google, and you can get a Google number, which is free. And then that gets routed to your cell phone. So you don't have to give out your personal number on air. You just can't take massive call-ins. But I can do, I've done where I've had 4 people on the line at the same time. And then myself for a show. Because we had what? Sean, Dan, Ken. Sorry, 3 people on the line. No, one other time I had Clint also on the line. 4. So it's not hard. You get it's called a iRig. IRIG. You can get them for $9 on Amazon. You need 2 cables, one to plug into a mic, one to, take your speaker from your mixer and plug it into your phone so that they can hear what you're talking about on the mic. And then the other piece goes right into your phone. It's easy. So that I can route you around a phone system that way. That's why you don't have to deal, because I hear everybody using like Skype and there's so many problems. It's not working with this. I think Ken the Conservative was going through Blog Talk. He stopped using them because he had so many issues with them. So, I'm not just doing it because I like to see it over here and it would help SHR Media, but I think in the long run, it might help you guys because you're not going to have the issues. It's automatic upload. You don't even have to upload it. The software does it automatically. And I also have it where it downloads a copy to me, because for two of the networks, I got to edit when I get done my show, I got to edit it down to 2 54-minute segments. That's why I changed my breaks around to make it easier. I have to do the editing at the end of the show, and I upload it to their network, and that's done. But with us, it would just be, you would get access to the speaker program. You start it up, you do your show, done. So, I know I just went on a tangent trying to sell you on coming to SHR, and I really didn't need to, but sorry. To get back for a third time, it hurts me when Obama blames me for everything. It hurts me when Obama says that the emergency system is inherently racist when this is a system that has been blind to race for years. How many times have I seen cops going into situations that maybe they shouldn't, and they go in and they don't care who you are? I've had cops come at me when I've had an attitude, come back at me just as hard and heavy. It's how you treat them. There's a black gentleman on Facebook who's put out there. He carries guns all the time. He's a concealed carrier. He's never had an issue. The cops walk up. He's very respectful. His hands are in plain view. He keeps them in plain view. Just as anybody else who has a half a brain knows, even if an officer's telling you to reach to get your ID, I'm going to have my hands up on the dash saying, no, sir, that is near where I keep my concealed carry. And I don't want you to be getting nervous. And no cop in their mind's still going to go, nope, go ahead and reach for it. And now we're finding out on a couple of these shootings, it wasn't even a white officer. So Obama's trying to point all the problems onto us. I know a lot of black people that are very successful. And it's funny, as the president of the United States is blaming everything on the white people and blaming it on the officers, we're hearing it from a black president, a black attorney general. The only one that's talking any sense is the black chief of police in Dallas. So many times you have these black groups. How much money does Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson make? How successful are those two black gentlemen? As Morgan Freeman said, the bus goes two ways out of your cities. Work your ass off and get on that bus and get the hell out of the cities that are keeping you down. If that city is keeping you down, get the hell out of there. Do everything you can. Don't make excuses. Because blaming everybody else for your problems. Hell, I've said it, my issue in my back is my fault. I knew I should have stood up. And I would have lost my job for standing up. But you know what? I had at least two companies, EMS agencies, that were after me. Hell, I had the county after me. I was being begged by lieutenants to put my app in. They can get me bypassed on a lot of stuff because they wanted my experience, my knowledge. But I wanted to play ball and be a good little employee because I was supposed to become a officer / supervisor, not officer as in law enforcement, but a officer as a ranking member. So I was trying to be a good boy and keeping my mouth shut, and that's how I ended up hurting myself. I knew I shouldn't have done it. And my partner, not that it has anything to do, was a female. She was about 1.5 feet smaller than me. She was maybe soaking wet 110 pounds, and we had a patient that was over 350, almost 400 pounds. And it was the second one of the night. I knew something bad was going to happen. But as I was told, if I refused the assignment, I would have been fired. Well, I could have been fired and had a job within 24 hours. But I wanted to not jump around jobs as I normally did in my life, where I normally stuck up for myself. And if it cost me my job, oh, well, I went on. But I just bought a house and all that. Hang on. Oh, great. More troubles. Oh, I hate idiots. I called a company. There's stuff going on with my insurance for the roof of my house, and I had to have a public adjuster. Well, my mortgage hasn't signed off on the check, and there's some issues. I had to write a check to the public adjuster, and they agreed not to put it in until I called them. So what did they do? They put the check in, and now they're complaining it bounced. When I told them I've called multiple times telling them not to do that. So I'll deal with that after the show. But now I got my wife kind of in a tizzy going, didn't you call him? Yes, I did, hon. But why am I at fault for everything other people do? I take responsibility for my own actions. They need to do that themselves. I've worked with some black people that are just amazing. Amazing. They've been my superiors at the time. They've been my superiors. I don't care what color. I've had females as my senior officers. Hell, one of the chiefs that helped train me was the female. I respected her to high heaven, and she was hard on everybody. But I respected her. I don't care what color you are, and people need to stop making that as an excuse. Is there some racism? Yes. Is there racism that goes to every color and creed? Yes. There's racism against Christians, Jews, Muslims, whites, blacks, Puerto Ricans, American Indian, Chinese, Asians. Everybody has racism against them. It's whether you go into a pity party, pick yourself up, and just move on. And for the president to be standing up there blaming everybody else and talking how there's this unfair, there's all this racism, and it's all the whites' fault. That's okay, but when we turn around and say this is political correctness gone wrong, and as he said, reverse racism, which I agree, this is just plain racism against whites. As you have a shooter that's screaming that he hates white people and just wants to kill them. How many Black Lives Matter members have been out there saying that? How many new Black Panther Party are out there? They're out there chanting, saying white should be killed. Hell, you have Al Sharpton out there preaching that we need to kill the police. So don't sit there and play the pity party and say it hurts, because what you have to say hurts us too. And it's funny, he says that the blacks are more likely to get arrested. Yeah. Well, stats don't show that. He says stats show it, but I was looking at him last night. And I think it's if you commit crimes or how you treat the officer. To switch it up a little bit, I actually had a laugh because Bashar al-Assad, the president or whatever the hell he is for Syria, he says that the Obama is not serious. He is not willing to take on ISIS. He basically said that they don't have the balls to take on ISIS. I find that funny, but you know what? It's kind of true. Obama has shirked his duty, has made excuses. So, you know, he doesn't have the will for whatever reason. There's many, many reasons. It's funny. I keep seeing Fox posting these polls. And they're always showing the polls that show Trump down. They never show the poll that shows Trump is even or ahead. And I've just about had it with Fox. Now they're showing another one that it has them even. So actually, I'll have to retract my statement. But I'm always seeing them, you know, oh, he's down, he can't win. It's just Fox has got a bug up there. As they did this back in 2012, they attacked. And yeah, I didn't know if he was like prime minister, you know, king, president. It's sometimes I don't pay attention to what the titles are, and that's my bad. And now you got a protester that says the Dallas police chief message to protesters is offensive and ignorant because the Dallas police chief officer talked about how all these protesters say it's so easy being a cop and everything's so easy and it's just racism. That's why they attack the blacks and this and this and this. And he turned around and said, we're hiring. Come pick up an application. Quit bitching about it. And if you want to change it, get into it. Well, now they're saying that's racist. You want to break up these protests? You want to break them up? Stop hitting them with tear gas and start handing out applications. Yeah, they won't do that. They'll be running for cover. No, not a job. I'm so sick of all this. Friend of mine just posted up also a meme that's showing two cops helping older gentleman change his tires. And as reported by the media, two police officers steal an old man's tires and force him to watch. Oh, you're the princess of the land of unicorns? All right. Kelly is the princess of the land of unicorns. Can I be the prince of unicorn farts? And if you agree to that, I'll agree to yours. No, I can't say that. I'm not a liberal. I don't believe in all that. It's a really weird. You have an 8th grader that just. Actually, I'm not going to go with that. Or give just quick. 8th grader did a poem about white privilege, and he took first place. The only white privilege I see. No, we got to say minister of unicorn farts because that's magical. It's magically delicious. God, I've lost my mind today. But this 14-year-old kid wrote about his poem, and it's white women, and you know it's the white privilege. The only white privilege I've ever seen. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. There's your white There's your white privilege. You want to see white privilege? How about the fact that Obama has not been impeached? Don't forget, he's half white. Everybody forgets that. They always talk about him being black. How about the fact that he's half white and, well, he's president, so I guess that's some privilege. I'm so sick of this false narrative. You got white privilege. There ain't nothing privileged about my life. It's a struggle, and I fight every day, and I don't sit here and whine. Oh, they're keeping me down. They won't. No. You want to know why I'm not rich? Because I chose a career that doesn't pay well. I didn't care. I didn't get into EMS for the money. I didn't get into firefighting for the money. You're not going to become rich. Well, firefighting, you make more money. Yes. I also chose not to go the government route. I went the private route where I could help more people. And I knew I would never make large amount of money. So the only one I got to blame why I'm not a rich SOB white guy, I guess, because I chose a career that doesn't pay diddly. Everybody thinks we're richly paid. After 20 years, the highest I ever got paid was $14 an hour, and that was working in a hospital. On the street, the last company I worked for, I made $13.50 an hour as an EMT. Yeah, that's real privilege. I mean, you got burger flippers that are complaining they deserve more money than that. When most of your EMTs coming out of school make minimum wage, they make $7.50, $8 an hour. And how much schooling? All right, it's not a heck of a lot. I mean, you're not going through college. You're talking 3 to 6 months worth of training for school. But that's more than it takes to become a burger flipper. And then the training you have to keep doing the rest of your career. I got a service jacket that's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick of all the certifications, all the classes I've taken over the years, and the continuing education that I've had to do. But the burger flippers deserve $15 an hour. So you're going to raise the minimum wage when they're still going to be making minimum wage. So you're right back to the original argument. Prices of everything are going to go up, and they're still not going to be able to afford to live in today's world. No one's going to be able to afford to go to McDonald's and pay $50, $60 for a friggin' Whopper or Big Mac. And if you look, Phoenix, Arizona now has a McDonald's that is totally run by robots. I'm pretty sure there's a couple staff members there, but it's run by robots. That's what $15 an hour gets you. McDonald's has had that technology for several years now, but they didn't want to put it in because they didn't want people losing their jobs. You talk about these big corporations. McDonald's are not big corporations. It has the big name, but they're called franchise. They're small businesses. And you're going to put these small businesses out of business. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising, Speaker, YouTube, and now iTunes. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be. And it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the student program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, perfect. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a message. And lastly, but most importantly, if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. All right. So I'm waiting on Sackhead Sean to call in. I know last he said they were finishing setting up, and he said he would call in about this time. But you know him, he's always running behind. He's like a woman, always late. See how much trouble I get for that comment. I'm waiting for the chat room to flare up and yell at me. Well, I could just make the comment that he's running on Jewish time. I always get told by my in-laws that, you know, they run on Jewish time. They're always running behind. They're always late to everything. And they think that they'll even be late to their own funeral. I didn't say that. That's what my in-laws tell me all the time. Oh, love you, Cal. I'm hoping next year I can make it to Freedom Fest. I really want to get out there for it. But yeah, without this someone sponsoring it, it's going to cost $600 round trip for the flight. Jenna, you know I love you. But yeah, $600 round trip, and then the hotel cost of whatever that would be. So I'm looking over and Obama talk about the root problem, that it's decades, not decades, but centuries. It's been ingrained in the police force. Hello. Hey, Sean. Okay, let me put you on there. It came up no caller ID. I'm like, who's this? And actually, I want to welcome Sackhead Sean live from Freedom Fest. How you doing, Sean?
So far, how are you, Joe?
Doing good, sir. Doing good. Mayberry calling Joe.
I do have Clint with me. I actually did find him. Clint, you there? What?
Huh?
I'm live from Starbucks. There you are. Found him eventually. So you get both of us this early in the morning. And Joe, let me tell you something. In Vegas time, 9:30 is ridiculously early. It is a great place, great time. We're already seeing some great faces that we had last year, which we're really excited about. You want to talk about just a well-organized event, a fun event, good libertarian event. We have Andrew Napolitano, Judge Napolitano, speaking later today. Senator Rand Paul's going to be here. I hear Senator Sass is supposed to be here speaking. A lot of great young entrepreneurial people are here. Age variety is amazing for a so-called libertarian conservative event. The youngest I've talked to so far is 16 with parents. The oldest I've talked to I don't know about Clint's age, 80.
Why can't you clarify? I talked to a 16-year-old, but it was with her parents, so it was cool.
We're right down here in the rotunda in the middle of it all. We have a prime spot this year. We're very, very excited. There's just so many great things today. Our good friend Chris Casey from Windrock 1230 stopped by, and he's going to be with us later. We're scheduling interviews like you wouldn't believe. And we're right, like I said, we're right in the middle of it all, Joe. It's amazing. They gave us such a great spot. We can't ask for anything more.
They still have Ken in the back room.
Oh yeah, yep. Ken's actually bussing tables right now. He's getting that out of the way. That's his dues for the day, and then he'll be allowed to come up and actually speak with us. So that'll be fun. No, you know, the underground professor is here.
Well, he's not here.
Well, he's not right here, but he's right. And no, but the underground professor's here. Bloviating Zeppelin is going to be writing and blogging from us all day, and telling about his kind of first event here at Freedom Fest, which is kind of cool. Just get that first-person perspective. For us last year, I wish we documented it better. So we're going to be cross-posting on SHR Media as well as bloviatingzeppelin.net. So that'll be pretty cool. And you should hear some of the people we have lined up for interviews. It's going to be awesome. And one of the coolest part about this, Joe, you know, part of being conservatives is the free market, right? And that's what there's a lot of push at this convention to keep it open and keep free market open and free market ideas. Last year we heard so many great and interesting and sometimes, you know, a little different ideas on how to make the market stay free and inventions and whatnot. And you're going to get that here as well.
Ban liberals?
And it's, huh?
I said ban liberals.
Yeah, well, that's one way. Banning liberals would absolutely help that. But, you know, so we're excited to see all the new ideas that have come this year from different speakers and new businesses that are coming up, the type of businesses that are coming up. All of those things together make this such a fun event. And then the overall emotion or feeling of the crowd is just, you want to talk about a fun group of people all the way around. You know, you're looking at 3,000 to 5,000 people here this year. I haven't gotten the final number. That's just my estimate from walking around. We're right in the middle of Planet Hollywood Hotel on the Strip in Las Vegas. The events go all day to all night, 8, 9, 10 at night. So there's really been, it just gets bigger every year. And I was worried with the RNC coming up here very, very shortly that people would have to choose one or the other. And it didn't affect it didn't affect the numbers here as much.
Yeah, we
as I
were
thought
talking
it would,
about
which is
that the
great.
other day. You were worried about the numbers being a little low because both events happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never doubt when it comes to conservatives and spending money. They're the ones that usually are spending it and willing to.
Yeah, and especially when it's for a good reason. I mean, listen, if you're looking to expand money, retire, invest, if you're looking to hear from conservative speakers and conservative finance people, more of that Austrian economics, a lot of Ayn Rand style libertarians here. Some great, I mean, it's just so amazing. We talk about the growth of liberty in this country and how to actually cause it to grow versus what the left tries to do to us, which is try to limit it. It's amazing to hear the different ideas coming out of here specifically on how we can do that. We said last year, you know, this is a majority libertarian event, and our libertarian friends sometimes get a bad blanket thrown over them as to what they're about and who they are, etc. And the reality is at heart, 99% of these people here believe in liberty. They believe in limited government. They believe in being able to live the life you want to live. We may sometimes disagree on the finite details, but overall, you know, libertarians and outright conservatives definitely have a place together. So, you know, it's something that it's nice to be holding, and it's nice to be honestly in a place of 3,000 to 5,000 people that believe liberty is the most important thing, and that we have to expand it.
And that's one of the things I kind of rip on the Libertarian Party because of there's that rogue, and every group has it. And the biggest issue I have with libertarians when it's if you disagree. Well, if you disagree with us, you disagree with the Constitution. Why do you disagree with the Constitution?
Yeah, but you know what? You get that out of the left too, right? I mean, you get that out of, and some people on the right. You're gonna always get that, and you know, we shouldn't be allowing the few kind of outlandish voices to be the ones who are curbing the entire movement per se. And you know, I think that's something that Clint and I definitely took home last year. Is we got a new perspective on libertarians here last year, and a good perspective. It turned out to be very, very positive, which was a nice thing. And you know,
there's so many different sects of libertarian.
Yes.
Libertarianism. You know, you have the ones that are just, you know, complete, like no government, practically, you know, in anything. And then you have some that are more conservative leaning, but, you know, libertarian on some social issues, very much about individual liberty, and even running the gamut for the various libertarians that we learned from last year, like we were talking about here.
Absolutely.
Was amazing. It's great people.
Yeah, no, it was, and we're really looking for a lot more out of it, and we do. We have to get ready. I mean, we're going to jump here in a second. We got interviews coming up that we have to get ready for, which we're going to do, and we already have some great. One of our first ones, Joe, is out of your neck of the woods, out of Florida. It is the legal immigrants for amnesty coming up at 10 our time. And essentially, the speaker is a legal immigrant who wants to stop amnesty, who wants people to
wants to stop. Okay.
Actually wants to follow the immigration laws that are in place and actually stiffen them. Because, as we've said millions of times, one of the biggest insults to the legal immigrants that come here and build a life and become citizens is the ones who don't. And we talked to her last night. She's going to be on, a whole group of them are going to be on with us here just very, very shortly. And we're really excited about that because, you know, that's one of the, immigration is one of the biggest things in this country right now. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. And to hear it come from a legal immigrant mouth on what it's like to come to this country, build
I say it on the show. I say it on the show, Sean. There's a lot of immigrants around my neck of the woods within Florida, especially in the Tampa area. We have a high population. We have the strawberry fields. We get a lot of immigrants coming in. And it's the ones that come here legally, they get pissed because they spend all that money, all that time, all that effort to come here legally. And they're like, why should they get to just walk in? And it ticks them off. Right. I have not met a legal immigrant that is for amnesty.
And that's the problem. And like they were saying last night, they're a loud voice, but they get ignored by mainstream media and a lot of other people because it doesn't fit the narrative. So we're very excited about that. And another great legal immigration story is a young woman who's going to be joining us later today who's from China, grew up under the Mao regime, immigrated to America, became a citizen, and now she's actually running for Senate in Colorado on the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, she was a Republican. Was so upset at the Republican Party and kind of what it's been standing for, not standing for. And so she's running on the Libertarian ticket. She actually has a pretty significant following.
So when we talk about the that we're trying to get out of here, that's right on the cusp of it all.
Yeah. Well, also, like you said, that the legal immigrants, they don't get the media push because it doesn't fit the narrative. To change it up a little bit, you know me, and we've talked about my background about the pro-gun, and I get pushed to the side, even though I have that insight of dealing with gun violence in my family. But I'm pro-gun, so I'm immediately pushed to the side, and the media doesn't want to talk to me. They don't want nothing to do with my opinion. If it doesn't fit their narratives, they just ignore it.
Exactly. And we see that all the time out of mainstream media. We just can't fight that without constantly getting these stories out and showing people that there's a truth out there that they get missed. So we'll be broadcasting all day, of course, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 on the East Coast. The Exceptional Conservative will be on. The Underground Professor will most likely be here for that. And then later on after that, of course, Sackhead will be on a special all this week at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 on the East Coast.
Perfect. I've been talking about you guys being out there. I'm jealous. I wish I could be there. Maybe next year, you know, we can
next year
work on some stuff to get some sponsorship to help with the cost and get out there. I would love to be there and just soaking that atmosphere in.
It's a good atmosphere to be in, and we're really excited. Like I said, next year we get it out your head, Joe.
All right. We'll get working on that before May.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to run. We're going to get ready for that interview.
Thanks for having us on, Joe.
Anytime. Tomorrow, just call in. I would love to get updates on what's going on out there.
We absolutely
Sounds
will.
good.
All right. You guys have a great day.
You too, bud. Bye.
That was Sackhead Sean and Sackhead Clint from the Sackhead Show, and also the two dominant owners of one of the greatest conservative radio stations that I'm proud to broadcast on. One of the things they're talking about is the media and how they push narratives. I talk about it all the time on this show about being pro-gun, and my father was shot. And we were in a state that he could not carry a gun to protect himself. And I could see where guns are needed. They're just like war. It's an evil necessity. I don't want war. I don't want any of that. But unfortunately, to have peace, you have to get it through violence sometimes. It drives me up a wall. It does, because this tree hugging, everybody disarms themselves. The criminals will lay down their weapons ideology, and it scares me to preach that, and some people are believing in it. It drives me nuts. And I'm laughing out of the corner of my eye. I have the news on all the time nowadays, and Hillary is now slamming Trump for not holding an actual press conference since 2015. This is a woman that hasn't done it either. She barely gives any press access. She went over 6 months without holding a press conference when Trump was giving them left, right, and center. It's amazing how far the left will lie, cheat, and steal to get what they want. I can't believe it. And I'm so honored today with the chat room and the lovely ladies, the brilliant conservative lovely ladies we have in the chat room. Carrie Baxter, tell me if I screwed that. Baxter Donovan. Kel Fritz, she is a great pundit. She has her own show that's on Blog Talk Radio. That will be on 2:00 this afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. And we have the lovely Jenna Hulaver. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. It's a joy with who I have. It's RFB Radio, Lessons on Sharia from Canada to England, today at 2 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. I will have it direct link on my page. So if you go there, you'll be able to get there. I'm Walliver. All right. Sorry, Jen. Sorry. I suck at last names. I always screw up last names. Well, we got about about 8 minutes left of the show. Perfect, gal. I told you, anytime you want to use it, go right ahead. It's an honor when someone wants to play my show. Just like when you asked me to be on your show, I'm stunned that you'd want, to invite me to speak on your show. It's amazing. I wanted to get into this real quick. Between 1993 and 2014, private gun ownership skyrockets. Firearm-related homicides have plummeted. They're getting now a direct correlation between ownership, and you're talking, 21 years there? Yeah, 21. You're now getting direct correlation as the gun ownership goes up and the gun control goes down. The gun violence is going down. Criminals are not going to, they want the easy access. That's why they're criminals. They don't want to work hard. They want easy access. So if they know that there's a chance that someone's going to be able to fight back and fight back to the point where it can kill them, they're really not going to take those chances. It doesn't mean they won't, but the chances are lessened. When you have someone that is able to defend himself, it doesn't mean that they will be able to defend themselves. It doesn't mean that they're going to come out unscathed. But what it does do is increases the chances of survival compared to not being able to defend yourself. It's an ideal. I have in-laws that I love, but they are anti-gun, and every time they come down, it turns out to be like World War III in my house because, well, I have weapons in my house, and I will not give them up. And the one thing that really pisses me off, I've invited them to go to the gun range with me so I can disprove these myths about the AR-15 and other weapons. It is, I think, a little hypocritical of them that they go out to California to go shooting with their son and daughter who really never been around guns, don't know how to use guns, but they go and shoot an Uzi. One of the weapons that's responsible for God knows how many murders and drive-by shootings in the 90s. You have less people murdered by AR-15 than by the Uzi. But it's okay to go shooting that way. It's mind-boggling to me. I have been around guns since God knows how young I was. My grandfather lived on a farm. Guns everywhere. He's out in the middle of the woods. I mean, there's guns, rifles at every door, all over the place. And he never had to hide them. They were all loaded. And there was never, ever, ever any incidents. Kids around all the time. Now, if there was babies, yes, the guns would be removed because that's a little bit different situation. But once we became age, it was, you don't touch them. If he catches you touching him without him there, he is going to put an ass whooping on you. And we feared that. And we understood, just as my daughter understands, guns equal injuries or death. That they're not toys to play with. She has Nerf guns. She has water guns. Hell, she even has a crossbow. Not a crossbow, a compound bow. She knows the rules. If she wants to go shoot it, she has to come get me. If she wants to look at one of my guns, if she's curious about them, she has to come get me. And that touching them can inadvertently kill one of her friends, can kill herself. She understands and respects those weapons. That's the problem. People don't respect the weapon. They don't teach their kids about them. They give misinformation when they do. And that's where accidents and all these issues happen. Until we find the gene in the human makeup that causes us to go out and kill each other, which we've been doing since the dawn of time, thousands of years before the invention of gunpowder, we have been murdering each other. So until we can find out that gene that makes us go and kill each other, I'll protect myself. Because I've seen what happened when you can't protect yourself. And yes, there is a direct correlation between gun ownership and gun violence. As ownership has skyrocketed, firearm-related homicides have dropped. And we are at a record low, even though the media loves to twist those facts. It's one of those things that makes my mind spin. Countries that have banned guns are also countries that are islands. But it also did not stop the violence in those countries. And with that, I want to thank everybody. Again, I do every day. I'm humbled by everybody tuning in. I'm amazed that everybody wants to listen. And with that, I say have a great day. Be safe. I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.